I've really been enjoying making these rebuilding videos, and you guys have been showing incredible support, so I figured I'd continue with this series today. Now today's team is probably the most playoff ready team I've covered to this point. They have two young players who the team is building around, along with other solid young pieces surrounding them. But can this team plug it all together, considering this is the most talent they've had collectively in a very long time and haven't seen the postseason since 2006? What's going on, everybody? It's Jelly J NBA back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining how to rebuild the Sacramento Kings. But before we get into today's video, I want to thank you guys for your continued support on this channel. It means the world to me. And if you are new here and enjoy NBA content, consider subscribing. I upload every single day. Like I've done in previous videos in this rebuilding series, let's start with how the Kings got to this point in their timeline.
And now we're back to how did I get here?
During the days of DeMarcus Cousins' time in Sacramento, where he was the best center in the league, believe it or not, the Kings continued to struggle. The team never won more than 33 games when Cousins was on the roster. Now, I know this is in part due to the level of talent on the team at the time, but also the inability to find consistency with coaches. Since 2012, the Kings have had a total of 6 different head coaches, which leads the league in that time frame. It's not like the Kings were just hiring the wrong guy either. Former coaches such as Mike Malone and David Yeager were very good coaches either before or after leaving Sacramento. After the team traded DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans in 2017 for a package that included Tyreke Evans, Buddy Hield, Langston Galloway, and a future first-round pick that became Zach Collins, who was then traded for Justin Jackson and Harry Giles, the team loaded up on young talent in hopes for a turnaround. Fast forward roughly 3 years from that trade, and the Kings still have yet to reach the playoffs. Now, I'm not going to blame all of this on the Kings themselves, because they do play in the loaded Western Conference and have struggled with injuries to key players like Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox over the past few seasons. But this doesn't get them off the hook for trading away immense draft capital in previous seasons. Everyone remembers this trade right here. The iconic 76ers trade that netted them a future first-round pick as well as draft swap rights with the Kings that ended up becoming the number 3 overall pick in the 2018 draft. Now, I understand if the Kings don't do this trade, other things could have happened, but imagine if the team kept that pick and had the opportunity to draft at that spot in 2018. There is a chance that Jason Tatum is a Sacramento King. Okay, now I'm sorry, Kings fans. I won't dwell on what could have been anymore. Let's get to fixing this thing. Let's first take a look at the Kings' contract situation and future trade assets. Their contract situation isn't the best, but it could definitely be worse. I like the fact that Marvin Bagley doesn't have to be paid until 2022, so the only player they really need to worry about locking up for the long term is De'Aaron Fox. Now, what I don't like about the Kings' contract situation is that 28-year-old Harrison Barnes and 27-year-old Buddy Hield are both under contract for the next 3 seasons at a very high price. Now, Hield, who showed promise before getting paid $106 million over the next 4 seasons last summer, has fallen out of the starting rotation this season and has really struggled. Barnes is a solid piece for this team and a veteran with playoff experience, but is still a bit overpriced. As far as trade assets go, Buddy Hield and Bogdan Bogdanovic are the team's best pieces. Both above-average shooters in today's NBA, a competitive team may be ready to hand over more than they would if they didn't need the piece now. Some teams to watch out for could be the Philadelphia 76ers, Dallas Mavericks, and Los Angeles Lakers. 3 teams in need of perimeter shooting that would be willing to give up a young asset or future draft capital to the Kings in return. Since the Kings have 2 young franchise pieces and a bunch of other solid pieces surrounding them, they won't be looking to build through the draft too much. But they could still pick up a stud in this year's draft if they miss out on the playoffs and land in the lottery. Like I mentioned, the Kings have solid talent across the board, but Harry Giles, Alex Len, Kent Bazemore, and Bogdan Bogdanovic all have expiring contracts this season. So the team could benefit from a wing who can defend, but also switch to the 4 and help protect the rim if the team is to lose Alex Len or Harry Giles. One player who I think the Kings will target is Florida State forward and ACC Sixth Man of the Year, Patrick Williams. Williams is a big combo forward in the mold of someone like Trevor Ariza. Now, it will take Williams some time to grow into an NBA player, but the Kings could definitely benefit from a player like him. Other draft targets for the Kings this season include Auburn forward Isaac Okoro and Florida State shooting guard Devin Vassell. Okoro is one of the best defenders in this draft class and could help fill a hole on the Kings roster, a team that doesn't have the best perimeter defense. Vassell, on the other hand, is a 6'7" shooting guard who uses his length on the defensive end, but also hit over 41% of his threes this season. These three players likely won't come in and put the Kings over the top as a team, but they can all help fill holes that the team still has. As far as free agency goes this offseason, the Kings also have a few options. Similar to their draft needs, the Kings could benefit from a proven wing that could spend time at either the 3 or the 4 and space the floor. Two players that immediately come to mind in this aspect is Danilo Gallinari and Paul Millsap. Now yes, I understand these guys are older and not the healthiest players, but you have to remember, the Kings are the 4th youngest team in the NBA with an average age of roughly 25. Gallinari and Millsap could not only add some much needed depth and shooting to this team, but also the veteran leadership that it takes to lead this team to the postseason. Like I said at the top, the Kings have enough pieces in place to compete for a playoff spot right now, and don't need to tear everything down and restart opposed to other teams around the league. Yes, there are some question marks at head coach with Luke Walton, and of course there's going to be question marks about GM Vlade Divac. But this team is solid. If they can stay healthy and just fill the minor holes they still have on this roster, playoff basketball could return to Sacktown. And that's the video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as well as let me know what you guys think about the Kings' future. Do you think Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox can help lead this team to the playoffs? And I hope to see you guys in the next one.